after Hurricane Melissa hit the Caribbean. The majority of the deaths came from floods in Haiti. Death tolls are expected to rise as search and rescue efforts continue in places like Jamaica and Cuba. The storm is making its closest approach to Bermuda overnight, with winds of 90 miles per hour, making it a Category 1 storm. And the Loyola University men's basketball team will wear uniform patches honoring their late chaplain, Sister Jean Dolores Schmidt, who passed away on October 9th at the age of 106. Sister Jean was the face of the Ramblers basketball program during the 2018 NCAA Final Four Cinderella run. Loyola opens its season on Monday against Cleveland State. For more news with a Catholic perspective, visit EWTNnews.com. Take Two with Jerry and Debbie starts now.
Well, hello there, and welcome to your show, Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. I'm Debbie Georgiani, and this is our monthly Unscripted. It falls on All Hallows Eve. I love that. So you bring the topics to the table. Very exciting day today for this Unscripted, and I do expect full participation. I do have my St. Michael hat on for All Hallows Eve, so I just want that hat on for sure, but it's also because it's the final day of a pledge drive that I am hosting, and I'm so excited for Catholic Spirit Radio out of Illinois, going strong for the final day, and a lot of pledge drives are happening around the country, so please give generously because we are listener-supported Catholic radio, and we want to go strong into the future. We want to thrive, not just survive, so thriving is great, and so when your local listening area, the station comes to you and says, can you give generously? Please do so. And please remember EWTN. Okay, so we did pray the St. Michael prayer to get started on this All Hallows Eve edition of Take Two. It is unscripted, so you bring the topics to the table. Okay, so it's very, very important. Now, I will tell you, I got a lot of feedback overnight and this morning on things they wanted to add to unscripted. So you're going to see me jumping all over the place, bringing the prayer book out because people have a lot of urgent requests and needs. I know that on Monday we've got our Whom or What Are You Praying For show that normally is very, very popular. So I will have the prayer book out on Monday, but I did bring it out ahead of time because we are getting urgent requests in. Now I want to do a special invitation from yesterday's show to Gina in San Antonio, Texas, and Leah in Manassas, Virginia. If you want to call back, because you were on the line yesterday when the show ended. And Jerry and I don't like that, so we want to invite you back to come in, and you can be our first callers if you want to talk about yesterday's show. And that's what you can do on Unscripted. Unscripted is kind of like a catch-all where we catch up for the whole month. We revisit old topics. We suggest new topics. We add our input, things, our takeaways, our prayers, things we're thinking about, things we want to talk about. It's a wonderful show. You know, I said a few times that it's like my favorite show. I kind of take that back. It's one of my favorite shows. I love the prayer shows. I love the miracle shows. I love the joke shows. I love the relationship shows. I think they're so powerful. We're learning a lot. And, you know, it's unfortunate we don't have enough time to do it, but Jerry and I, we get so many emails from the Take Two family, and these are really beautiful, long, thought out, heartfelt emails about how the topics we are discussing right here on Take Two are making a difference in your life. And so thank you so much. We read everything. Michael, our producer, is helping us tremendously trying to respond where we need to respond. But know that we read everything. I think we've pretty much read everything that has come in. So that's wonderful. I'm so sorry that we're a little behind. Actually, we have, we're kind of a couple hundred emails behind, but that's beside the point. But we're working on it. We're trying our hardest. We're chipping away at it. Jerry's in seminary. I also host another show called The Spirit World, which airs tomorrow, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern, and we're talking all about praying for the dead, praying for the living, and praying for the dead, having masses said. That's tomorrow's Spirit World, and you can call in. And so we're doing a lot of things right now in ministry, but we're trying to stay in touch with the Take Two family. So please continue to send your emails in and suggest topics for 2026. Okay, because we're getting ready to fill the calendar for January for 2026. That's exciting. So if there's certain things you want us to tackle together the Take Two way, this is your opportunity. Or you can come on air with us right now and suggest something. Michael and I have the notebooks out. We're ready to go to add it to the show calendar. So this is Unscripted, where you get to bring the thoughts, the topics, the questions to this episode, and we kind of cover it all. So we jump all over the place. It's a very fast episode. So we ask that you call in quickly. I don't want to leave anybody on the line going into the weekend. That's going to really bother me. So the number to dial is 833-288-EWTN. That's 833-288-3986. And Matt is on the phones doing a fine job. We're going to get Mary with us in just a moment. Mary's in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. She's going to be our first unscripted caller today. Michael's at the controls, our producer, doing a fine job. Pedro's on social media. Love the chats. I love the chats. I love hanging out with you guys. It's so much fun. But again, another shout out to Gina in San Antonio, Texas, if you're listening. Leah in Virginia, if you're listening, call back. Just tell Matt I was on the line yesterday and I waited a long time and didn't get on the show. And that's the least we can do is bring you on with us. Okay, now we have a couple urgent prayer requests. Here's the first one that came in. This came in from our dear friend Mary Beth in Long Island, New York. She said she would really like the Take Two family. It's an emergency. Urgent prayers needed for her coworker Maria. She had to have an emergency C-section with her baby yesterday, and the baby is only 25 weeks along. The baby was born at 1 pound. The baby's name is Lila, and the mother's name is Maria. And she asked the Take Two family, please pray. This is a very urgent prayer request. So please, folks, if you can grab your rosaries. She went through a lot to get to the hospital. She actually drove herself to the hospital. So it's a very serious situation. So please, folks. She has 2 little ones at home. This is her 3rd baby. But Mary Beth said she's such a beautiful person and she would really appreciate the Take Two family prayers. Okay, that's the first prayer request. Please, guys, you got to get praying, especially on this All Hallows Eve. Ask the saints. We're coming up on All Saints Day tomorrow. It is a holy day of obligation. However, it's been abrogated in most dioceses because it falls on a Saturday. Okay, so it's been suspended. But you're encouraged to go. It's still a holy day of obligation. So you're encouraged to go to honor the church triumphant and to be at Mass. It's so powerful. Everybody's present at Mass. It's an amazing family celebration, right? Our dear Father John, who we love so very, very much. Father John is having some complications with his left foot, and the doctors are saying there's a 60 to 70% chance he may be losing that foot. So he's asking for our prayers. Father John is a dear, dear friend, and we love him so very much. A wonderful priest. He cares about the Take Two family. He prays for the Take Two family. He lifts us up at Mass all the time. Please pray for Father John. It's very serious. He's in the hospital. He's asking Padre Pio and St. Carlo Acutis especially, and his mother Mary to intercede for him. And we ask for those prayers for Father John as well, and give him support and love. He needs it right now. He's feeling a little bit alone. He's got to stay up. He's got to stay positive. Okay, we'll be right back for more Unscripted.
The free ebook, Waiting for the Prodigal Son, is a resource for parents, spiritual parents, or anybody waiting for a loved one to come to know the merciful love of God. It's available at EWTN.com/St. Luke.
Hi, this is Father Mike Schmitz. I invite you to listen to Bible in a Year and Catechism in a Year here on EWTN Radio. On Catechism in a Year, you'll encounter God's plan of sheer goodness for us. Throughout the year, we read through the Catechism of the Catholic Church with direct quotes, plus time for explanations and reflections. I hope you can join us every day, or as often as you can.
Bible in a Year and Catechism in a Year with Father Mike Schmitz, tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on EWTN Radio.
Take Two with Jerry and Debbie is on YouTube. Search YouTube to find the EWTN YouTube channel, so you'll never miss an episode of our show or any of your favorite EWTN radio shows.
Father Benedict Groeschel on life.
If all the Christians, if all the Catholics, if all the religious Jewish people, and all the Muslims stood together against abortion, no one would have ever been able to make this legal in the United States.
EWTN, preserving human dignity in a throwaway culture.
Okay, you can join us on this amazing Unscripted, where you bring all of the thoughts, topics together for this incredible episode. And we're already getting prayers for Father John. I'm sure in the hospital he is listening to Take Two. Father, feel the love from us. We are going to Padre Pio and St. Carlo Acutis and our Blessed Mother. And please don't feel alone, Father. You've got a lot of love around you. The Take Two family is worldwide. We love you so much. And stay strong, Father. We're going to pray that you get that miracle and you keep your foot intact there. So that's what we want. And so we're going to go big with God and ask God to really protect Father John. He is incredible and is a big supporter of Take Two. He is in California. So that's where Father resides. Okay. We do have an open phone line for this Unscripted, 833-288 EWTN. Again, that's 833-288-3986. You don't have to be Catholic to call in. Feel free to call in. I can try to answer any question you have or any comment you want to talk about or anything you want to share. We can have a great discussion. That's what Take Two's all about, so that we walk away a little bit changed, a little bit closer to God. Wanted to remind everybody that this Sunday, November 2nd, is the daylight savings time ends. Amazing. So yes, daylight savings times. It ends. It doesn't really affect us here in Arizona. We're kind of the lighthouse of the country. We don't change our clocks. But I'll tell you what makes me really happy. I do a morning show. I'm the executive producer of the morning show out of Guadalupe Radio Network. So I'm kind of excited because I get to get up an hour later, which is great. So I get to get up at 4 a.m. instead of 3 a.m. So that's going to be a huge night's sleep, and I love that. So I look forward to when daylight saving times it ends, and so it ends this weekend. I'm talking really fast because all morning long I've been on the Catholic Spirit Radio final day of the Fall Appeal, so I'm kind of really hyped up about it because I really love when priests pledge to Catholic radio, when priests come into the studio and really share about how much they love Catholic radio. I love when bishops come on the radio and share how much they love, like Bishop Paprocki was just on Catholic radio just a few minutes ago. I mean, it's so exciting when all these bishops come on and priests come on and they support and they understand the power of God using the radio to touch each and every one of us. I have always said this. Father Thomas Loya of Light of the East says that God is sanctifying the airwaves. I love that. And by the way, Father Thomas Loya is going to be on Catholic Radio and Catholic Spirit Radio later today, and I get to co-host with him. I love that because he was on the Spirit World, and we just love Father Thomas Loya. Okay, so many things I'm so grateful for, probably because it's the day before All Saints Day, one of my favorite days. It starts November, the whole month of All Saints, All Souls. Let's hear what Mary has to say in Lancaster, Pennsylvania on Sirius XM 130. Hello, Mary. Welcome.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi. You go right ahead, Mary. You got the floor.
All right. I called about 10 days ago and began sharing about pilgrimage to Medjugorje. And I've been to Medjugorje now 15 times since my first pilgrimage in 1990, and I had started telling you that we stayed in the home of Ivanka, the visionary. Mm-hmm. And you sounded very interested. You said, I want to hear the rest of the story. Call back on Unscripted. So here I am.
Great. I want to hear it.
I just wanted to say that when we arrived at Ivanka's home at 11:30 at night, there were 21 of us staying in her home. There were 47 in our group separated into 3 different homes, but 21 of us arrived at her home at 11:30 at night, and she had a hot meal waiting on the table, a full hot meal. She had 2 children. Her youngest was just 5 months old, and she greeted us at the front door in her bathrobe. And it was at that very moment that I realized that she wasn't there to impress us. She wasn't there to be the superstar. She was there to serve. And it was a week that changed my life. And everything that goes on in Medjugorje brings you closer to your Catholic faith. And the prayer program there that goes on daily ever since the beginning of when the apparitions began in June of 1981. The prayer program there every evening is the Rosary, the joyful and sorrowful mysteries, and then they pray the litany to the Blessed Virgin Mary, and then they have Holy Mass, and after Mass they have healing prayers, and then the glorious mysteries of the Rosary. The only time they change the program, instead of praying that last mystery, the glorious mysteries of the Rosary, is if on 2 nights a week they have an hour of adoration after Holy Mass. And then on Friday nights, they have an hour of veneration of the cross.
Wow.
And this has been going on since I went there first in 1990, November of 1990. And it still goes on every day, the same prayer program. And people from all over the world are there during this time frame. And no one has to stay for the whole 3 hours. You know, if it's too much for people who are on their first pilgrimage, they can go and go have a coffee somewhere, have a pizza down the road or whatever. But the world comes together for that Holy Mass every evening in Medjugorje, and it's just beautiful. And I don't know if you had questions, because you sounded as if you have a desire to go to Medjugorje.
Oh, I've always
had.
Yeah. I've always had a desire. I've been asked to go multiple times for some reason or another, whether it was health or some other reason. I was a caregiver for my mom for 11 years, so that stopped me from traveling a lot. But I will tell you that I've always wanted to go. All of my friends went. They've come back with this huge conversions in interior conversions that are just unbelievable. I've seen people go into the seminary because of Medjugorje. I've read testimonies from bishops and priests going to Medjugorje several times, saying it's just incredible. Now, I will tell you the visionaries have traveled around, and I had the real reason why I got so interested in Medjugorje is because I went, and I can't remember which one it was that came to the parish. This was many years ago. I'm talking, oh my goodness, so many years ago. And my sister invited me to come to church to hear the visionary speak. It was. Oh, I can't remember which one. Okay, but anyway, Mary.
Was it a man?
Yes,
a
it was.
male?
It was. Yes,
So
it was the man.
It was Yvonne.
Yvonne. Okay.
Yvonne.
Okay. That's why when you said Ivanka, I was going, is it Ivanka or Yvonne? Okay. It was Yvonne. Okay. So what happened is they came and they gave their presentation at the parish that I belong to. And I went with my sister, and this is a true story. It was the weirdest thing I've ever experienced in my life. Weird in a good way, but weird in a strange way, because I was all alone. And Mary, after I heard, and I was always interested in Medjugorje, but after I heard the presentation, I was walking out of the, out to the parking lot. And of course I embraced my sister, hugged her goodbye, told her I loved her. She went in her car. I went in my car, and I got in my little car. It was a white Subaru. I'll never forget it. It's a little white car. I got in the car, and I live in Arizona, right? And so it's just always, it's kind of very pleasant weather at night. So, there was nothing extraordinary going on at all. I just got in the car, and it was about 9:30 at night. I remember it so vividly. I know exactly the parking spot I was in. It's still there. The parish is still there. Anyway, I mean, you're talking like 20 years ago or something like that. It's a long, long time ago. But anyway, I got in the car, and all of a sudden, Mary, I couldn't breathe. It was like I was being suffocated by the smell of roses. I couldn't breathe, Mary. I was gasping for air, and I've turned the car on, and I'm going, what is going on? What is going on? It's like I drove into a florist shop or something, and I just landed into the refrigerator there, and it was right. I couldn't, and it was choking me, and it just filled up, and then so I quickly, I'm in Arizona, so what's the first thing we do in Arizona when you feel like you're hot or something? You roll down the windows as quick as possible. So I rolled down the windows. It was still choking me. It was right. And so I started driving, and it was still filling up in the car. And so I got home, And I called my sister. I said, "Did you get home okay?" She says, "Yes." She said, "What happened?" I said, "You're not going to believe this." I said, "The smell of roses, and now I know the odor of sanctity, the heavenly fragrance." I said it was overwhelming, and I realized at that point, Mary, it took me a while, but I realized at that point it was God confirming for me what was really true of what was being said that night about the Blessed Mother, his mother appearing there. And I just,
Absolutely.
and I just felt it so strongly. I'll never forget it. I mean, it's unbelievable when you, and that was the first time I ever experienced the odor of sanctity. I have experienced it before at Rhoda Wise's house, when I went to go visit there. But I will tell you that, it's the most amazing thing. So I love that you've made 15 trips to Medjugorje, how much you love it. And, what would you say to people? We have a approved U.S. Marian apparition right in Wisconsin, Our Lady of Champion. I mean, shame on us if we don't make that trip there at least, right?
Right. Absolutely. But, the difference between Medjugorje, Guadalupe, Lourdes, Fatima, and even Our Lady of Champion, it's current day. It's still happening. Our Lady
still
is
unfolding,
still coming from heaven every single day. And the church is now currently, it is approving her messages on the 25th of every month. Ever since last year, September 19th of 2024, the church gave the approval of Medjugorje as a place of pilgrimage. They weren't investigating the visionaries per se. They were investigating how do the pilgrims, how are the faithful, how are they nourished in a place like Medjugorje? And the reports that came back were saying that A+, everything, the adoration, the sacrament, Medjugorje, as Pope John Paul II said, Medjugorje is the world's confessional. You would not believe the number of people who are in line for confession in Medjugorje, day after day after day, hundreds of people in line for confession, and their hearts are changed, and they start their life over again. So Our Lady of Champion, yes, I would like to get there myself to see where it is, the place where Our Lady did come, our approved apparition here in the United States. But Medjugorje, for the sake of it, she's still coming because she came to tell the world that God exists.
Right.
And in the very beginning, she said, peace must reign between God and man and among humankind. And she's still asking us to pray for peace. And there's so much more that she says in her messages that we can listen to. So the fact that she's still giving us messages, it's just, that's why, yes, go to Champion, because not everybody can get across the ocean and go to Medjugorje.
Sure.
Go there and experience the grace. I've heard it's a beautiful place. But if you can get to Medjugorje, I would just say it's just the most incredible place of peace, prayer, fasting, conversion, reconciliation, strong faith. It's all of those things wrapped in one.
So, Mary, I need you to do me a favor. I shared with a Take Two family about Father John, a dear friend of ours from California, who he's actually. I don't know if he's still in Medjugorje. I believe he's back home, but he was in Medjugorje when he broke his foot, and he's the one I was talking about. Yes. So he was leading a pilgrimage there. So please pray for Father John Gunningham, please.
Absolutely.
And if you can, because it's questionable of what's going on with the foot, if they can save it or not. I want to make sure that we have a lot of prayers, and he's led several times to Medjugorje pilgrimages, so he's a big believer, and and if I'm not mistaken, the reason why Medjugorje falls under such scrutiny is because it's still unfolding, and the church doesn't come out and make a full investigation and a full approval or saying it's authentic or not until after it's all done with the visions. Is that correct?
That is correct. The church always has given one of three definitions. It's either absolutely false, it's absolutely true, or the church hasn't come to a definitive decision yet. And that's where it was left by Pope Francis and the church. And that's where it remains and where it will remain. But they have definitely said that Medjugorje, now priests can put together pilgrimages from their parishes. It is approved by the church for priests to do that because Medjugorje is nourishing the pilgrims. And so It's just a beautiful thing. I sent you an email If you have a chance to look it up, if you want to respond to me by that, then you can stay in touch if you want to know who would be the best person to go with, because I know the most wonderful woman who is Croatian, and she speaks the language, and she's wonderful. So I don't want to keep all your callers away.
Yeah,
so.
No, Mary, you sent it to take2@EWTN.com, right? Take2@EWTN.com. Thank you so much, Mary. And when you make that 16th trip to Medjugorje, please make sure you remember the Take Two family intentions. We really appreciate it. Mary, great call. Thank you so much for getting us started on Unscripted. We appreciate it. Happy All Saints Day coming up. Also, we had another caller that was right after Mary dropped off. If I didn't catch your name, please, if you were waiting right after Mary, call back because obviously you had something to say. I can get you in. Just tell Matt you were right behind Mary. He'll inch you up to the front of the line. Let's say hello to Sandra in Corpus Christi, Texas on Guadalupe Radio Network. Now, Sandra, we only have a minute. I'm going to say hello, but I need you to hold through the break. And Dutch, you hold on as well. We have others that are ready to call in for Unscripted at 833-288-3986. Hello, Sandra.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. You go right ahead.
I have a quick question. When a loved one dies, we usually dedicate a mass for them. And traditionally, it's like on their anniversary date or maybe birthday, something like that. But my question is, why is it at church, at a parish, why do they limit that to one person per mass as opposed to... My father passed on All Saints Day in 95. And I've yet to be able to schedule a mass for him.
Right. Okay, Sandra, stay on the line, please. Great question, and you're going to be helping a lot of souls today. It has to do with canon law. It's in canon law. So hang on. Don't go anywhere. Well, this is Unscripted today on Take Two. Please call us.
Hi, we're Greg and Jennifer Willits from RosaryArmy.com.
First Friday devotions are a time-honored practice in the Catholic Church devoted to the Sacred Heart of Jesus, symbolizing his love and sacrifice.
Combining the Rosary with the First Friday devotions enhances the spiritual experience as each Hail Mary draws us deeper into the heart of Jesus' mercy and love.
Praying the Rosary on First Fridays can be a profound act of devotion as we reflect specifically on the sorrowful mysteries while meditating on Christ's passion and his Sacred Heart's outpouring of grace.
This integration not only enriches our understanding, but also strengthens our commitment to living a life of love and reparation as requested by Jesus during his apparitions regarding the Sacred Heart.
It's a powerful way to respond to Jesus' call to console his heart, uniting our prayers with the intentions of the Church, especially for the salvation of souls.
Join us in our mission. Visit RosaryArmy.com to make them, pray them, and give them away.
This is Bishop Robert Barron. Join us as we discuss the truth, goodness, and beauty of Catholicism on the Word on Fire show, Sunday afternoon, 4 p.m. Eastern on EWTN Radio.
Carry the faith wherever you go. Catch up with the latest news from Washington, D.C., the Vatican, and the world on all of our EWTN news platforms, such as the National Catholic Register, Catholic News Agency, EWTN News Nightly, EWTN Pro-Life Weekly, and EWTN News In Depth. Download the EWTN app at EWTNapps.com today.
Spreading the good news of salvation.
This is EWTN Radio.
Matt Swaim here. Monday on the Sunrise Morning Show, we'll celebrate the Feast of the Archangels, Gabriel, Michael, and Raphael, and get you all the latest news, weather, sports, and more. Now back to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
so glad you joined us for Unscripted. This is just a lovely show where we come together. We kind of, recap and rehash all the things from the month. We get it all tightly wound and bound and with a bow on top. And we say, okay, October's done. Now we're into a new month together like we do at the Take Two Way. So you guys are showing up strong. Thank you so much. Prayers are going up to heaven for Father John. That's great. And for Maria as well. So gosh, you guys are so kind and big and generous hearts. We're going to get back to Sandra in Corpus Christi and then Dutch in Chicago. So hold on, both you guys. And then please, I have an open phone line for you if you want something, if you want to suggest a topic, if you want to revisit a past topic. I'm still shout out to Gina and to Leah if you want to call back. But also, Michael, our producer, was saying, maybe you want to share your favorite saint and why, okay? Because tomorrow is All Saints Day, and I know that it's a holy day of obligation, although it's been suspended because it falls on a Saturday. So let's really celebrate the saints and talk about the saints. If you want to share anything that's on your heart about a specific saint that we should be alerted and we should know about and we can go to. Congratulations going out to another EWTN radio partner. St. Gabriel Communications, serving Garden City, Kansas, is celebrating 10 years with us this week. Congratulations to James Janda and his team at KSGC from your friends here at EWTN. Okay, let's bring Sandra back up on air with us. Sandra, okay, you asked the question, why is it that the typical procedure or protocol is that there's only one person for the stipend for a mass intention? Okay, so now if I get this wrong, make sure some priest that's listening or some deacon or some bishop who's listening, feel free to correct me. But I worked in the parishes for 25 years, and this is my understanding when I used to take mass stipends. The reason why there's one intention, it's canon law, and because they want to keep it fair, meaning so it's one stipend for the mass, and this single intention, because they don't want to give the appearance that you're kind of buying sacraments or selling sacraments, or just adding multiple names and you're getting all these stipends for it. So to keep it across the board, it was one per mass. Now it's my understanding that the Vatican did issue a procedure where you can have what they call like a collective intention. So you kind of group it all together and it's a collective intention. And I know that some international orders of priests, they will do, you can send multiple intentions in. But as for the local parish area, to keep it fair across the board, it's one intention per mass. So that's, and it's canon law. So that's my understanding, Sandra. That's the reason. I've always had a problem with it, I will tell you, because I used to have people come in all the time, just like yourself. They used to come into the parish and they're like, I want to get a mass for my dad or my mom, and I have to have this particular day, and they're not able to get that day for 3 years out. And my heart would break for them because they would just leave sobbing, going, now what do I do? But there are a lot of orders around the country, around the world, that they do take multiple intentions. I'm not quite sure I'm sure they probably have to put it into a collective intention to do the masses. Otherwise, they'd be saying a mass like every minute. So that would be difficult to do. But Sandra, that is my understanding, that it is canon law. What do you say?
Thank you.
Does that help?
Oh, yes. Thank you. I was just real curious. And I've always wondered. Opportunity appeared to call, so I did. Thank you for your answer.
Oh, you're welcome. And here's the other thing I would do, though, Sandra. This is something that people don't realize. I don't know if people realize this. In fact, I just shared with my producer from a morning show this morning about this. People, I don't think, realize this. It is very important to get local masses said, or masses that you can attend at a certain parish, because there is a heightened efficacy, a heightened effectiveness to that mass for that intention if you are present. I don't know if people know that. So there is a step up, a little. So it is wonderful to order these or pay these stipends or donations for masses around the world. That's wonderful, and you should be doing that consistently for the living and the deceased. We're going to be talking about this tomorrow on the Spirit World. We're going to be talking about Gregorian masses, having masses said for the living, the deceased, single intentions, collective intentions. That's why I kind of know about this, Sandra, because I'm preparing for tomorrow's show, the Spirit World. But let me just share this with you. It's also very important to try to attend the Mass, either in person or virtually online. I don't think people know that. Now, it's still great to have Masses said, absolutely, because the Mass is the highest form of prayer. So definitely. But I didn't know if you knew that, Sandra, but I just thought I'd add that to your knowledge of having Masses said.
Well, thank you so much. It's just tradition, I guess, in our culture, the way we worship. And so it is important. So I was just wondering about that. Thank you so much for the information. I appreciate you and all you do.
Oh, thank you. Well, we appreciate you too, Sandra. Thank you so much. I love Corpus Christi, Texas. My brother lived there for many, many years. Thank you so much. Okay, we're Laura on YouTube. I'm waving to you. Laura says, no Saturday masses anywhere near us due to the shortage of priests. See, that's unfortunate. We need to pray for more vocations. They would only schedule one if it was an obligation. Well, it's still an obligation. It's just been it's what they call abrogated or suspended. So it's still an obligation. What I would suggest to do is catch EWTN and catch the Mass tomorrow for All Saints. I would definitely do that online if you don't have one near you. That's what a lot of people do, and so that's how it is, because we do have a shortage of priests. But I love All Saints Day Masses. They're so beautiful, and All Souls Day. Okay, we're going to get to Dutch in Chicago, Illinois. Hope that helps, Laura. Please call in if you have and you know what, if you have any suggestions for topics you really want us to tackle, now is the time to get them in. I have the calendar out, so I'll start plugging them in, and I'll do that for you. Or tell us about a saint that you love. Give us some saint quotes that we need to meditate on. I love that. I love taking, the lives of the saints and really celebrate All Saints Day today, All Hallows Eve, all the way through the weekend. Just really focus on the Church Triumphant. So if you have something to say about the saints, call in 833-288-EWTN, 833-288-3986. Okay, Dutch in Chicago, Illinois, you are up next on Sirius XM 130. Hi, Dutch.
Good afternoon and happy All Saints Day to everybody in Take Two.
Thank you.
Like I told Matt earlier, I communicated with Jerry off and on the last 5 years. About 13 years ago, I moved to Seattle, Washington to work in the aviation industry, and that turned out to be a giant disaster. I moved back to the Chicago area about 2.5 months ago, and I'm starting to question that too. Now, to wrap it all quick, I joined the church back in 96, 97. I was an all-over-the-map Protestant before that. It was the smartest thing I ever did. Mm-hmm. And I'm also a fourth-degree knight as well. I go to a wonderful parish, St. Isaac Yogs in Hinsdale, with Father Burke Masters, the baseball player priest. And I had a wonderful parish out in Kirkland, Holy Family.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it seems like everything I've tried to do to improve my life, my faith professionally, and otherwise, in the last, say, 30-odd years, has all ended in ashes and dust. And I'm wondering if I didn't waste my entire career in what I've chosen to do with my life professionally and wasted a lot of other things. And I'm wondering, has the good Lord just got tired of me being so stubborn and stupid? And I've been crying out for help. I've been praying a lot of rosaries for the neglected and the forgotten in purgatory, and all my priests have encouraged me to keep doing that because I'm imitating St. John de Maria Vianney about that. Mm-hmm. And I'm just wondering, has the whole thing, and I just turned 70 in June, and I'm wondering if I'm just running out of fuel, running out of road, running out of steam, and just running dry completely. And I just don't know where to go anymore. Can you guys throw some insight at me or somehow or what?
Absolutely. I can feel the Holy Spirit working in this call, Dutch. Okay, so there's no accident. Normally, Unscripted is full phone lines. And Dutch, you've got the floor, and you can have the floor the rest of the show if we can help a lot of souls today, including your own. So are you ready? You want to do a little life coaching here?
Fire away.
Okay. Why are you so hard on yourself?
Part of it is the generation I came out of. My parents came up during the Depression. My father was in the Second World War in the Pacific, had a number of uncles there and in Europe. My brother was in Vietnam. And everybody's done a whole lot better in life than I have. So that kind of generational thing, I don't know if you could call it a curse or expectations or what, but it was a number of years ago. I was working on the $50 billion Boeing commercial airplane programs, and I was even had a piece of a strategic weapons program that I can't talk about. And a few weeks ago, I was working as a source inspector for a private equity space exploration orbital launch booster program. I mean, you can't get much higher than that. And I'm back to the same thing I was out in Seattle, doing rideshare driving 6 days a week, and just to keep income coming in.
Sure.
And I've got lots of headhunters looking for me, but it seems like I said, like I've run out of breath, run out of steam, run out of road, and it's just an effort to keep praying either a rosary or a chaplet or anything like that at all.
Sure.
And I'm just wondering, what has God got in store for me?
Right.
I mean,
maybe it's a shift.
I just feel lost and alone and maybe not hopeless, but just empty.
I get it. And you're not alone. I felt exactly like that. And many times. I mean, that's just, it's the way our life rolls. But Dutch, a couple things, just a couple reminders. Number one, you have your guardian angel beside you. Ask your guardian angel to illuminate your mind. So as you know, you got to get in a state of grace, stay in a state of grace as long as possible. Okay. And then the clarity comes. Ask your guardian angel to illuminate your mind, to really put forth, light up the steps right in front of you. Okay, your guardian angel will do that because they're praying fervently. When you're not praying, Dutch, they're praying for you. When you're praying, they're praying harder. Okay, so they're working with you. Work with your guardian angel for sure. That's number one, because remember, everything's coming from God. It's coming from the Holy Spirit. They're beholding the face of God and ministering to you at the same time. So there's a direct connection right there. So that's number one. Number two, Dutch, I don't have it in front of me because I'd have to search, and I want to give my full attention to you and your phone call because your call is going to help thousands of people today. I know it's helping me right now. It's very interesting you're calling. Maybe offline I can tell you how God is working behind the scenes. It's pretty amazing. But you're helping many souls today, and hopefully it's going to help your soul. God, I can share with you how many beautiful saints that loved God so very much, stayed close to God, canonized saints, Dutch, who gave quotes throughout their lives that they would say things like this: God does not care how much money you've made, what you've achieved, the degrees you have obtained, what you have acquired. He cares about how much you have truly loved, and loved like God has loved, right? The real love, not love like everything goes and everybody can sin. Love within truth, the true love. And that's what God is concerned about. He's concerned about our hearts and our souls, and he wants all of us. I actually think you're in the most beautiful position, because if you open yourself up and really accept yourself and not look, which we all do, and not look side to side, comparing ourselves with anyone else, family, friends, anyone, neighbors, parishioners, but it really understand who we are and whose we are, that God suffered and died for each and every one of us individually and collectively. That, Dutch, you know, there's such a beauty and acceptance in that, and an understanding how much God loves you, Dutch, that maybe, just maybe, he wants you to realize that in a way that only you can do when everything else, you know, you don't have control of. Everything else has been let go of. Everything else has been, you know, taken away, or everything else has not been achieved. It's the purest way for God to enter into our minds and hearts and souls. And I just got chills from the Holy Spirit. I know it to be true. It's unbelievable. So Dutch, I'm telling you, I feel it so strongly. You, and I'm speaking to myself and anyone else that's listening to Take Two today, just think about that for a minute. Meditate on that. It's not about a race of this world. It's about our own individual, you know, the way we were, our whole disposition, our whole personality, the way we were designed by God himself. Dutch, I think you're in the most perfect position. If you just surrender completely to the Lord and live that free fall into his arms, okay? Every day is a miracle. Every day, not the past, not the future, every day. So what you just did today, Dutch, I'm not joking about this. People think I'm joking. They're like, oh, you have a radio show, you know, you're just promoting the radio show. No, I'm telling everyone the truth. Dutch, what you just did today on a worldwide platform, you probably helped thousands of souls today. I would say you are a hero. You're amazing for stepping up and sharing from your heart and opening yourself up to talking about this and wanting to figure out what's good in your life. It's all about what we're doing today. I do a segment on a morning show out of Guadalupe Radio Network. We named it The Next Right Thing. Do you know why I named it that? I'm the one who picked the name, The Next Right Thing. It's because it doesn't matter what we have done in the past or haven't done. It doesn't even matter what we're going to do in the future. It matters what we're doing right now. Right now. Because if we were to die tomorrow, or we were to die right after this show, we have to be able to stand in front of God. And I know we hear this thing about, oh, God's going to give you a life review and you're going to have to account for everything. I understand that. But you got to understand it's important what we're doing right now, because this is when we're going to show up in front of God, and we have to keep doing those step by steps. Do the next right thing right now, because it's so key to living our best, most abundant life. What Jesus said he came to give life and to give it to the full. So Dutch, I don't know if anything that I have said, I pray it was through the Holy Spirit that was just using these words to try and touch you. But Dutch, please, there's such a beauty in just surrender and acceptance. And we don't have to try to at all. I'm not saying you're doing this, but measure up to anything else. You are perfect, Dutch, just the way you are. You know why I say that? Because God knows every hair on your head. And if he's going to go to that degree to know every hair on your head, Dutch, he loves you tremendously. So you know that. You don't need me to tell you that. But I just want to know, is there a way you can explore that for yourself so that you don't feel like almost getting to that point of you know, losing hope? Because I've been there, and I've had to talk myself out of it. What do you say, Dutch?
I believe everything you're saying, Deborah. And I just do. And
Good.
I'm going to give it my best shot. I mean, see, by nature, I'm a workaholic and a type A personality. And there's
I get you, brother.
There's plenty of times I feel, well, if God's not blessing it, that must not be what he wants. Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to be able to love him 100% and trust him 100%. And it's so difficult. It's
of course
so difficult.
It is.
And I give thanks when things are going great. Believe you me, I do.
But Dutch, come
and
on.
Other times, it's just like I've got Mount Rainier just crash landed on me, and I'm trying to dig my way out with a plastic spoon.
Sure. But again, Dutch, we are our own worst enemies. All of us. I shouldn't say all of us. That's a very general statement. But most of us, we're our own worst enemies. We've got to pick ourselves up and move us out of the way, and just know that God loves us so very much, and He would have suffered and died for us again. And He just wants us to keep on that path and stay faithful. This tiniest bit of faith, He shows us an overwhelming amount rushing towards us, because He's always faithful. But Dutch, I got to tell you, there's such a hope and beauty and joy when you finally accept. Dutch, I'm like you. I'm a type A personality, workaholic. I'm always beating myself up. I'm great at punching myself right in the face. Okay, I get it. That's not about that. I realized through the lives of the saints. I've been reading the lives of the saints. They all, so many of them felt that way. Do you know that the saints felt just like you? Just like you. They're not doing enough. God's not blessing them. They're not winning God's favor. They're not good enough. It was Padre Pio, I believe, who said, if you put a statue of me after I die, it's like putting a statue of Satan up there. Look how hard he was on himself. And he had 15 spiritual gifts. I mean, it's unbelievable. So Dutch, it's part of the condition of this thing called life and what we live and how wounded and broken we are. But we can't do that. We can't let the demons win. We've got to keep reminding ourselves, step by step, do the next right thing. Know that we are in a good place with God today. Today. Don't worry about yesterday. Don't worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow may never come here on this earth. We got to be ready to meet the Lord. And so it's a beautiful freedom. I feel so free being like that. Now, I will tell you, Dutch, when I go the other way, my normal personality, I'm pretty depressed. I got to be honest with you. I can dig myself a big hole. So I'm right with you, Dutch. Anything else you wanted to share? You've got the rest of the show, because it's so important what you're saying today. And I pray. In fact, I'll prove to you, Dutch. Please, if Dutch's story has touched you and you have felt that way, or you feel that way today, then please email me and tell me, give, affirmations to our brother Dutch here at take2@EWTN.com. What do you say, Dutch?
Thank you, Deborah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, bless your heart. You're beautiful. I love it. I love your love for the Lord. It's so obvious as soon as you started speaking. Nobody calls in to Take Two or any of the call-in shows on Catholic radio if they didn't love the Lord. They're looking for They're looking for the truth. They're looking for the Lord. Like St. Augustine said, our hearts are restless until they rest in you. And so, Dutch, your love just shined for the Lord all over the world today. God bless you, sir. Stay in touch with us, please, okay? Keep the joy.
Okay. You guys have a great All Saints Day, All Hallows Eve, and give my best to Jerry and everyone, and Dr. Anders and everyone else.
Definitely. Absolutely. I will spread the love. Absolutely. Thank you, Dutch. Keep in touch, please, please, please. We love when the Take Two family stays in touch with us. I cannot say it enough, because when you stay in touch with us, we grow the family and we share that love and we continue to walk together. And hopefully we're walking, straight back to God. Like St. Thomas Aquinas said, we come from God, we're headed back to God. So thank you again, Dutch, from Chicago, Illinois. Thank you so very much. Don't forget, Sunday, November 2nd is All Souls Day. The whole month of November is dedicated to all souls. So important that we pray for the souls in purgatory, the church suffering, and that we pray for the souls the ones that have no one to pray for them. So always remember the souls in purgatory, and please have those masses said for the souls in purgatory, but have masses said for the living. And it's don't, just because your loved one was an amazing grandmother or grandfather, don't canonize them when they die. Please, everybody needs prayers, and they never go to waste. And there's this concept, this idea of degrees of glory. You got to remember this. God is a God that's always moving. He's always building. He's going bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, we serve a huge God. So don't just put God in a box and say, okay, if I do this, check, I've done that. No, go big with God. Go big with God with miracles. Go big with God with your life. Go big with God with your love, meaning give God all of yourself. That's what he wants. He wants He wants you to fully invest yourself, not part of you. He doesn't want you necessarily just on the weekends for Sunday Mass. He wants you all the time. He loves you so very, very much. I can't stress it enough. Now you've got my catechetical hat on. See, this is what I used to do when I was in the classroom for 25 years. So I can't stress it enough. And honestly, guys, I'm talking to myself too, because this has been a rough week. I don't know why. Maybe because in just about 10 days, I'm going to turn 60 years old. And I don't know why. This week was a weird week for me. So maybe I'm talking to myself as well. So see, we're all trying to help each other, and we do it together as the Take Two family. I want to thank so very much our incredible show team. We have the most amazing show team. Matt on the phones, Michael on the controls, Pedro on social media. I'm waving to everybody again. Ace jumps in at times. Rich jumps in at times. Vanessa jumps in. It's just so amazing here at EWTN. Thanks to all the affiliates that carry Take Two Live. On Monday, we are talking prayer. Whom or what are you praying for? That's what we're going to do on Monday. Check the spirit world out tomorrow. We're talking about having masses said, and we'll go into all the details, Gregorian masses and other things. That's tomorrow on the spirit world with Adam Bly at 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern. Okay, that'll do it. We just wrapped up all of October on All Hallows Eve. Okay, you guys, have a beautiful and blessed weekend. See you real soon.
What's life coaching? Life coaching has been around for many years, helping people with their relationships, careers, health, and finances. With Stand Tall, it's all Christ-centered. We focus on mind, body, and spirit.